So, in honor of the re-release of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace in glorious 3D, I asked the question today, why does everyone think that The Empire Strikes Back was such a big loss for the Rebel Alliance? Why is it such a dark movie? I mean, okay, I get it. Like, the Rebels get thrown out of their base, pursued across the galaxy by Darth Vader. Luke gets his hand cut off and finds out Darth Vader's his dad. And then Han gets frozen in a block of ice and sent to Jabba the Hutt. Okay, sure, I got it. But actually, if you take a look at it, it is actually one of the Rebel Alliance's greatest series of tactical victories ever. I mean, let's take a look at it. They're just hanging out there in Hoth, along comes the Empire, and what does Darth Vader do as the first action in the battle? He executes his commanding officer. Like, this is the equivalent of, say, Colin Powell flying to Afghanistan and shooting General Petraeus in the head. I mean, in a highly bureaucratic and technological military, this creates a lot of chaos, therefore doing the Rebel Alliance's job for them, okay? Now, next, they lose probably 40% of their troops in the ground invasion right off the bat when the Rebel Alliance shoots down 2 of the AT-ATs. There are 5 AT-ATs on the field, they all contain stormtroopers, and they shoot down 2 of them. That's 40% of your landing force. Probably more once the troopers fight their way into the compound, okay? Then, what happens? Do they round up any leaders of the Rebel Alliance? Do they kill any of them? No, they shoot down a few pilots, which are easily replaceable. They kill a couple of soldiers, also easily replaceable. And they get bupkis. They don't even shoot down Wedge, for God's sakes. He survives the entire trilogy. Okay? Next, Darth Vader sends his guys off on a crusade to find one ship. Han Solo's Millennium Falcon, because he thinks it'll lure Luke out of hiding somehow. Okay? Now, he takes his fleet of 6 destroyers, formerly 7, because he lost 1 whole Star Destroyer to the Rebels' ion cannon on Hoth Base, into an asteroid field to chase 1 ship, losing yet another Star Destroyer, dozens of TIE fighters, and hundreds of men in the process. And probably damaging the other Star Destroyers significantly. In fact, his generals beg him to get out and tell him that the fleet has sustained lots of damage. Okay? But he doesn't. What does he do? His solution, once he loses Han again, is to hire a bunch of criminal bounty hunters to go hunt Han down. He has the entire Imperial military at his behest, which he is slowly grinding down through to bad leadership. And he hires a bunch of bounty hunters. Now, this is the equivalent of the U.S. government, the CIA, for instance, hiring a bunch of mafia hitmen to do a job. Of course, the U.S. government would never hire a bunch of mafia hitmen to do a job. Anyway, so yeah. So, one of the bounty hunters, Boba Fett, that guy, eventually does find Han Solo. And they freeze him. And they send him off to a gangster. Do they interrogate him? No. They torture him a little bit, but here they have a guy who is a high member of the Rebel Alliance command, and they don't even interrogate him. He has valuable information, reams of it. They don't even try to interrogate him. They just send him right off. He even says, they didn't even ask me any questions. Once again, fantastic leadership, Darth Vader. Thank you very much. Okay? Now, Luke comes back eventually from Dagobah, where he has been training with Yoda, and making his Jedi skills like 1,000 times more awesome due to the fact they let him go and did not capture him in their great raid on Hoth Base. Comes back, tries to fight Darth Vader, gets his hand cut off, but makes a good show of it. Stands up to him, tells him to go to hell, and then jumps off a cliff. Eventually gets saved by Princess Leia and Lando Calrissian, who the Empire has driven right into the arms of the Rebel Alliance and will eventually lead the Rebels to victory almost single-handedly in the Battle of Endor, but that is another story. So basically, what you got here at the end of this is the Rebels gain a brand new ally, don't lose anyone, Luke gets more awesome Jedi skills, and for that, the Empire has lost 2 Star Destroyers, a bunch of 2 AT-ATs, dozens of TIE fighters, and lots of damage to the other ships, and they got nothing. So, looks like, I don't know. I mean, the Empire, the Rebel Alliance, little imbalance in the victories here. I say Rebel Alliance, the Empire 0, Rebel Alliance like 1,000,000. Well, there's something for you to chew on. I'm Gerard Marzilli, signing off.